Good morning, everybody. I see a quite enthusiastic crowd over here. I welcome you all on behalf of Krishna Bhumi, Vrindavan, Hare Krishna. I'm going to unveil a new story which is in process of writing before you. And I take up this opportunity to first introduce our group from where we come. Can you go on to the first page, please? Excuse me. Thank you. Sorry. So we are going to talk today about a new story which is unfolding itself in Vrindavan, which is the spiritual capital of India, just a couple of hours from where we are sitting right now. Before coming to that chapter, I will briefly introduce to who we are, where we come from, and then we will talk about what kind of business landscape is unfolding in the spiritual center of India. So Infinity Group, we are headquartered in east of India in Kolkata. So far, we have delivered 6.5 million square feet of space. And by 2030, we are having around 5 million square feet on our plan, which we will be delivering. We are present in 3 states, primarily West Bengal, Assam, and Uttar Pradesh. The project about which I'm going to talk today here. If we talk about Infinity as a group, we have pioneered into the IT development in east of India. And if you talk about IT space development, Salt Lake Sector 5, those who have traveled to Kolkata or east of India must be knowing about it. We started the IT development over there. And Infinity Think Tank, Benchmark, Godrej Waterside, Infinity Business Centers. These are the few marquee projects which we have delivered over there. Infinity as a group has got a core philosophy of not really developing something prototype one after another, which is a very typical kind of format which real estate follows. Any project which we have delivered so far has been a marquee, innovative, new concept project. Infinity Benchmark was marquee in its own way. Our primary thought leadership is lying upon 3 important quotients. One is nature, another is society, and third one is commitment. This one is slightly important to deliberate upon because this guides us what we do and how we do it. When we talk about nature, the very first development when we started real estate 2.5 decades back, we took a pledge of developing only green buildings. So far, whatever 6.5 million square feet we have delivered, every single square feet has been a green development. And since then, this pledge has been ongoing. We developed 2nd platinum rated LEED certified green building outside US and 7th in the world, which is Infinity Benchmark. When it comes to our social commitment, we are more than the normal CSR activities which organizations do. And this is something which I will be expanding upon in pages to come. But CSR is something which guides us centrally what we do and how we do it. And thirdly, of course, we are committed to our stakeholders, investors, etc. So, we were pretty well off doing our business from Calcutta, having our plate full in terms of developments, in terms of upcoming developments. That was the time when ISKCON came up with the proposal. Now, ISKCON was, I'm just giving a slight background. I'm sure most of us must be knowing about it, but just to give a reference to it, ISKCON was founded by Srila Prabhupada, who was the founder Acharya of ISKCON. He saw this vision that while the world is developing skyscrapers and monumental buildings, why not something like this should come up in Vrindavan, which is the holy city of Krishna. And his followers, ISKCON of Bangalore, envisioned it, and they took the proposal to various business houses. Eventually, this proposal came to us also. Our chairman, Sri Ravin Chamaria, also happens to be on board of trustee with Akshay Patra, which is an organization run by ISKCON Bangalore. Uh, 15 years back, 1.5 decade back, developing something of a monumental size, which is like 700 feet tall temple in Vrindavan was a pretty ambitious idea. So businesses appreciated it, but then at that time, nobody came forward to participate in it, and that's when we got our feet into it, and our chairman committed to go ahead with it. We were having two options or two choices at that point in time. One choice was to give some surplus as a donation and say good luck. We took the second route, wherein we envisioned a project in Vrindavan of real estate nature, and we internally earmarked it that every single penny of profit which comes out of it goes to sustain our CSR in days to come. So whether it is one-time profit or whether it is a perpetual profit coming out of an establishment in Vrindavan, that is committed to go to the CSR activity, and that's how we partnered with ISKCON Bangalore to come up with this project, which we call as a Krishna Bhumi. So the project in itself is in the larger ambit of seva rather than purely a profit-driven commerce. When we got into it, we have a total 110 acre of land parcel over there, out of which 70 acre is being developed by ISKCON Bangalore, where they are developing 700 feet tall temple, known as Chandrodaya Mandir. And adjacent to it in 40 acre, we are doing a mixed land use development. Very recently, we have delivered the first phase, which is constitutive of 135 villas and 840 apartments. Fortunately, it's all sold out and all the possessions have been given. People are happily residing over there. On the temple part, since most of you must be going to Vrindavan, most of you must be aware of, the first phase of Vrindavan Chandrodaya Mandir, the epitome of Vrindavan coming up, is being delivered and darshan has begun over there. Now, most of you who are from real estate or aligned with the real estate, as you know, in a larger development, we get certain components of commercial. So we also got 5% of our total FAR area as earmarked into the retail or commercial development. And that's how we got to build this Krishna Bhumi Arcade, which I will be talking in next phases. The most important part is that, as I said in the beginning, Infinity is known as a group for developing something out of box, innovating something. See, we got to our drawing board to understand that what kind of development will be sustainable for a place like Vrindavan. Whether to follow the suit, we should make just another mall with having multiplexes, multi-brand outlet, single brand outlet, or should we do something new about it? Then we got to some R&D, some surveys, etc. And we realized that Vrindavan as a place has been growing historically and has got quite an ample number of retail, which is of a spiritual and devotional nature, primarily speaking, other than the food joints and rest of it. So we decided that probably this is the high time, and this also has a context in terms of the other spiritual locations of India buzzing like anything from the business point of view also. Just to give you a perspective, after the corridor coming up in Kashi, the footfall in Kashi increased tenfold, 10x. So was the story which was seen in Ayodhya, and so was it which was seen in Ujjain, where the corridor came up. So we realized that probably we are at the cusp of a different kind of economic framework or economic activity which can be shaped up. And that's how we came up with this India's first spiritual and cultural product mall, Krishna Bhumi Arcade. Now, typically, if you look at the scope of this particular category which we broke into, Indian spiritual market size is 58.56 billion, which is a huge number by any means if you look at. And if we only talk about the spiritual products in terms of artifacts, idols, literature, etc., that also to 2023, it was estimated to be of 3.7 billion. and it is expected to grow by 6.5 billion by 2031 with a CAGR of 8.3%. And this is something which is the most important business decision for any retailer or any business entity to get into, because with such a huge scope of business, this is still lying unorganized, unstructured. And the idea of coming up with the new kind of retail category, as in the spiritual and religious cultural product retail, was to capture upon this huge potential and gap which is there in the Indian market escape. Let's talk about Vrindavan, that what opportunity Vrindavan comes up with. Just to give you an idea, 2012 has been a turning point in Vrindavan, wherein Yamuna Expressway, one connectivity factor got added, which was connecting from NCR to Vrindavan. And second was a development of Prem Mandir, which is again a very visual kind of temple coming up, which is there in Vrindavan. These two coincided with each other, and with these two developments coming in, the footfall went by 6x. Today, if I talk about the daily footfall of Vrindavan is 5 lakh. And fortunately, the mall which we are talking about is situated right at the center of Vrindavan. Those of you who know about Vrindavan, Chatikara Vrindavan Road is one of the cardinal connecting road of Vrindavan. This is the main road of Vrindavan. And we are situated right at the center of it. One side is Prem Mandir, another side is the Char Dham Mandir, which is situated over there. With the huge footfall coming every day, what kind of buying itinerary these people have? Those who visit to Vrindavan, their primary purpose is to go and have darshan of Thakur in different mandir of their devotion and choice. Once they are done with the temple darshan, eventually they also need to get to a place where they can buy the souvenirs, they can buy something or else related with the puja part samagri, Thakur prasadam, etc., etc. So the idea of Krishna Bhumi Arcade is to bring all of these small retail brands as well as big retail brands who serve into this category together under one roof at one place. Now from, as I said, Krishna Bhumi Arcade is positioned as India's first religious and cultural product mall. And the idea is to create a unique kind of mall with a unique experience, which can also be replicated at new destinations, be it Kashi, be it Ayodhya, be it Ujjain, be it other places of religious importance. Because under the new government, a new kind of economic activities is surging up. And this is an untapped potential which we need to look at. Just in a previous session, I was listening that we were talking about big brands or mid-scale brands expanding to tier 2 or tier 3 cities. What I will say that probably the spiritual centers or these religious centers needs to be looked at separately than the tier 2, tier 3 framework. Because when you talk about tier 2, you talk about unorganized, unstructured, low-scale developments coming up. That's not the case what Kashi or Ayodhya talks about. And government having such a huge focus on infrastructure development at these places are turning out to be a big potential investment hubs for people, investors, as well as retailers. What you are seeing right now is the facade of Krishna Bhumi Arcade. It has got an amalgamation of all the modern designs along with giving it an ancient outlook. We have placed it in such a manner so that the local brands as well as the national and global brands which are falling into the category of religious and cultural product line can showcase their product line over here. So at one end, for the national brands and global brands, it's giving them an opportunity to have an advantage of a huge footfall. Just to give you an idea, in our 110 acre of development, we have got a captive audience of around 50 to 60,000 people. Now, no matter how much jargon you play with, ultimately a retail works with the footfall. If you have people coming to your doorstep to shopping, then everything else can be back engineered or can be organized upon. And here we are sitting upon a huge opportunity of overwhelming numbers in terms of footfall. As I said, 50 to 55,000 is a captive audience which is going to reside within the campus or who is going to come for darshan every day. Plus, there will be another pedestrian population because adjacent to our development in the temple side, we are also building up one of the highest number of parking space, which is going to have around 5,000 car parks. So this is a huge number by any standard if you talk about. And hence comes the potential of investing over there or looking at it as an opportunity for retailers, those out of you, or for even investors. I will quickly show you a small walkthrough video just to give you an idea from inside outside, how does it look. Our team is over here. We have got a stall outside. Any of you having any detailed query, you are most welcome to come and ask us. I will request the team to just play the video. So just to add upon the whole story, UP government has already allocated and given 30,000 crore plus of investment for infrastructure development in and around Vrindavan. Other than that, there are two major landscape developments which are coming up in Vrindavan, which is going to make the footfall and the numbers go multifold, probably in months to come. One is the commencement of Jewar Airport, which will create a new kind of connectivity for Vrindavan. Once Jewar Airport gets operational, we are sitting at 45 minutes of traveling distance from the airport. And second is the commencement of Bihariji Corridor. The corridor story has been a proven success at other places, which I'm sure you all must be knowing. So we are talking about an annual footfall of 7 crore people coming every year. And if I took the parallel of Kashi and Ayodhya as well as Ujjain, at these three places, the story has gone 10x higher. Even if I'm not looking at that kind of overwhelming number, even if it goes threefold, fourfold, fivefold, we are talking about 15 to 30 crore people coming every year, which is a huge number by any means for a small place like Vrindavan. It is already overwhelmed on weekends. It's hardly there is a place to move around. Everything is jam-packed. So businesses are thriving, opportunities are coming over in Vrindavan. I really invite all of you to do visit us, come to us, and figure out how we can together make a difference to a holy place of Vrindavan. Thank you so much.